We're live? All right, we are live. This is a first. We are coming to you live from the Mohegan Sun at the New England Mortgage Expo. So it's so great to be back here. It feels amazing to be back here and to bring you mortgage leadership outlook with one of my favorite people in the mortgage business. Kris-Ann Carduff, who's for AmeriSave, Wholesale, and
I lead the marketing team, right?
So you lead the marketing team, but so you have an interesting background because you've been account executive, you've been actually sales leadership roles, been marketing leadership roles. You've worked for some of the biggest brands in the business. Made such a huge impact on the business, but and it's all seems like pale in comparison to what you guys are building here. It really is. It's funny. I've been talking to some of your, from talking to you, talking actually to some of your fellow executives, hearing actually, what you guys have done. From all the backgrounds that you have, and taking the best from the best,
yes,
and bringing it here.
Yes.
Why? Why do you love the mortgage broker?
Oh my gosh, I always joke that nobody plans to be in the mortgage industry, but we all end up in it somehow. Somebody brings us into it and we stumble in it, and then you just can't get out. It's addictive, and it really is fun. I really like the wholesale side because I've been in the broker role and I've been in sales, and I just like knowing who my customer is, and I can find them, and solving problems and working together to figure out how to make a good mortgage for a consumer. It's just fun. It's fun. And it's such a small industry. We've all worked together before, and if you didn't burn any bridges, then you're good to go.
Yeah. So. Well, and fortunately, it's not just you that loves the mortgage broker. No. It's the borrowers. So you just sit here at the New England Mortgage Expo. You had a presentation today. And this is why consumers choose mortgage brokers.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about the findings, because you guys did actually the research. Tell us a little bit about the project and the findings from that project.
Yes. So when we started, so just to give a background a little bit, so AmeriSave Wholesale, it's not new to the industry. AmeriSave's been around for 20 years and had a small TPO shop, if you or platform but mainly for community banks and credit unions. That was their focus. It took offline with the leadership of Michael Brenning and all of his experience with helping build other brands and get in, take the wholesale to the next level. We are now introducing it to brokers. Yeah. And this round, we're harnessing all of the internal technology that AmeriSave has used and made themselves successful for the last 20 years, and now we're opening that secret sauce to the brokers. So when we were starting and we're talking about what we want our culture to be, what do we want to be known for, great rates, great service, all of us have to do that. That's the ante to play, right? So we also want to prove that we're here to help the brokers build their business and propel their business, because then we all succeed. And Michael Brenning's alma mater, Hamline University, said they would like to do a research project for us. So when we talked about investing in that, would it make sense for us to do something for ourselves and learn more about brokers, or does it make sense to do something for our brokers and help them, because they don't normally have the time and resources to spend on a 6 or 8 week project. No. So that's how it all came about. And so we asked them, what is it that consumers, why would they go to a mortgage broker than another lender? And if we can figure out who that audience is, then we know how to speak to them, and we know how to advertise to them, or we know how to talk more authentically. So what I talked about today was just 2 of the 5 segments that we found out about in this research project. Was a segment we were calling financially literate, and those who are more transactional literate. So what that means is there's people out there who really understand finances. They're very competent in what APR is and what loan terms are, and they've had a couple houses. They may be close to retirement. They know what, they're confident in discussing that. Well, those people generally will lean towards going to a bank to get their mortgage. Yeah. And they already have a relationship with a wealth financial guy, that type of thing. So that's not low-hanging fruit for a broker. The transactional-minded person is someone who's like, I know what I can afford every month. I know what I make every month. I think in terms of transactions,
Yeah.
and they gravitate to brokers. They feel like they speak their language a little more. So what I talked about in there is how do we help you communicate with both of those. So if you're talking to a transactional literate person, you don't want to be talking about APR and we have HAVA and conventional loans, because all of that overwhelms and doesn't mean to them. You speak in loan, more in life terms.
Right.
And then for the financially confident, they're looking at brokers because they think they need to go to their bank. So if you're talking about APR and stuff with them, they're like, I got a banker for that. What you would want to talk about as a broker with them is, hey, did you know that by going to your bank, you might be limiting your choices? You only have one underwrite, one price. If you come to me as a broker, I'm going to be able to shop all that for you and make sure we get you the best loan, because you're a financially savvy guy, I know, or gal. I know you want to get the best loan for you. And so it's a different conversation.
And what is the reason that they feel like going to the banks? Is it, you guys do any research, like why the default is the bank?
Well, it's not really. I mean, it's not. So we controlled for gender, income, age, all of those typical things. And then what we said was, okay, well, what's left over? We did statistical regression, as it's called, and figured out exactly what attributes allow people to gravitate towards a mortgage broker. So it wasn't more about why do they go here than here. It's like just not judging it as much as just saying people who said in a survey that the paperless process was important to them, odds of them going to a mortgage broker went up like 200% than if they said that paperless process isn't important to them. So that's something that you guys need to key in on as brokers, is that talking about the fact that you have a paperless process is going to you're going to talk to the audience that relates to you the most.
Wow. Okay. So paperless process. Give us other insights. What are some other insights that brokers can do actually right now with how they're positioning themselves in the marketplace, whether it's to get the financially confident or the transactional? So
one of the most important things is staying in touch with the customer. We all know that, right? And that's with any brand and anything. Yeah. However, with our industry, people aren't thinking about their mortgage every month. It's not like a grocery transaction or anything like that. So how do you as a broker stay in front of someone who, especially if you just did a transaction with them, and quite frankly probably aren't going to need one again for at least 18 months to 5 years or 7 years. Yep. So they need to find ways to be speaking to them authentically and advising them about more than just that one transaction they did.
Interesting.
So if you're listening to a sales and marketing person who says, well, you've got to do email drip campaigns, you've got to be doing social media, that stuff is important. But if you're just talking to be talking, or you're doing the same email to everybody, then you're probably missing the mark a little bit. And we need to figure out how to get you to speak, know who the audience is, and tweak that email or that phone call or whatever to the audience.
Interesting. Now, say you're actually helping brokers, on what to say, like their communication.
Yeah, I say we just because I feel like we're all in this together, right?
Yeah,
and it's
I
our
get it.
responsibility.
Listen, not for nothing. I feel the same. I feel like as a someone who's my father was a former mortgage broker. Like, I totally, I get that, but now the difference is you actually have tools and resources and power to be able to do this.
Yeah,
so
it is my passion. I definitely love the marketing side, and we're giving away a marketing makeover today. So a licensed and active originator can come to us, and we're going to help them do a campaign. I don't know. I've got my ad agency here with us. He might not even know it that I'm throwing him out there his expertise is going to be coming into play. But they're a digital marketing company, Rocket 55. We found them. They're in Minnesota, and they're just really good at helping us do that segmentation and knowing what to say to each of the different audiences. So we'll love to pass that on to our brokers.
Well, that's great. So now, so from that, you're going to do this actually webinars, do actually some kind of educational process, and probably have these materials on your portal.
Yes. We're asking people if they're interested in more of the details of what I talked about today to just fire us off an email or find us on AmeriSaveWholesale.com, and we'll get a white paper out to them that goes into detail, because I only had time to just scratch the surface up there.
So I've heard like a lot of things about your technology, from people actually that are not easy to impress when it comes to technology.
Yeah.
Companies actually, individuals who have worked for, some of the best names, when it comes to technology in our space. What are you guys doing? Like, what is so special about is it Aussie? Is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
Aussie. Yep, she is going to be your wholesale BFF. We like to say. So,
nice.
what I love about AmeriSave is it's been around for a really long time, and I like to think that our technology leadership always asks the question, what can we do to automate to make your job better? This is what they've done with their retail side for many, many years. Like the loan officers, the underwriters, the processors, they're almost a focus group, right? Like, how can we make your job easier? How can we reduce mistakes? What do we need to do? What's redundant isn't a value add in your role, and everything we could automate, we did. So what that does is allows each person in those roles to be better and more qualified to do the part that requires humans, right? So if we can get the data stuff off to the computer, then our people are more valuable and they bring more to the transaction. So that has been working for many, many years, and it was time to take it and use it on the wholesale side, because we all know that the diversifying and having more than one channel helps everybody, because the retail does make a lot of money that then can help support the wholesale side. Yeah. The wholesale does much better at some things than retail does, right? They're much better at purchases and holding on to those relationships and things. So it makes sense for a company to diversify and have 100%. Two verticals, and being able that they were open to letting us use all that to share the secret sauce with brokers is, I think it's amazing. So we're very proud, and we could have, last year was an amazing year, right? A lot of my competitors, I was like, oh my God, we're on the sidelines and they're just killing it. And we thought about it. We're like, do we want to just get out there and get what we want and let the process teach us what we need to know? Or do we take this year and make sure that we come out with the best first impression we can? And we chose to do that. We didn't go the route of, grabbing some of that easy market share. We're just gonna prove it, show it, not tell it, is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, because really, you'd be new into the marketplace. You have actually, a lot of executives, including yourself, who, have a reputation, and you go out there with an almost great, product. You're not going to have a chance actually to recover from that.
Exactly.
Not going to have a chance to actually make that big first impression. Like, from what I understand, you do not. Now, can you talk a little bit about actually the successes that you've had so far since you've started to take some loans? Because you are taking loans.
Yep, we have loans.
An exclusive VIP group.
Yes, we've been working with friends and family now for a couple months now, because we know that they're going to be patient with us, teach us what we don't know. Things, we try to think of everything.
Kick the tires when you need.
Oh yeah. It's like whack-a-mole a little bit. One thing works and the other thing breaks, but they were helping us through that. And plus, it was more than that. In that first month, it was making sure that we built something that they wanted. That would. What is your wish list that you've always wanted technology to do for you, and let's build that. So now that we've rolled out nationally, everything's been going really well. The feedback we're getting is, wow, this is what is user friendly. What we wanted was out of the box, like an Apple phone, right? If you bought an Apple phone and you opened up the box and it said, okay, great, call our training team and we'll give you this 2.5-hour training and help you understand how to use the iPhone, you'd put it back in the box and you'd be like, I got a lot to exactly, right? So we said, how can we make this out of the box easy, intuitive, that each screen tells you what to do next? Because brokers do not have time right now to learn a new system. No. And if we want them to come work with us, we got to prove
never have time. It's either because they're too busy, so they can't do it, or they're not busy enough, so they're trying to do everything they can to get busy. They'll never have time.
And nobody wants IT training. Why do you think there's so many technology people making so much money? They're the only ones willing to read the manual. That's why, right? So we get on these IT calls with whoever, and they make big bucks because I won't read the manual. So that's just me. But yeah, we want the brokers to feel like it's very intuitive. And our feedback is that exactly that it was easy. They understood it. They know exactly what's going on. And then the other thing that we're doing differently is, it feels like, and I've been in it for a long time, that there's sort of this factory line, right? The process you go through is the mortgage loan is registered, and then we have to do this, and then this group of people, these teams get in and they do their role, and then they pass it on to the next. And down the road here, we'll get to where we could get the early CD out and then eventually docs out. What we wanted to do was kind of flip that process on like more like a tower, and have anything that can be cleared when it makes sense for the loan, and not when it makes sense for our team to get to it.
Yeah.
So I say that as soon as you register the loan, we're focused on closing it. We have a team called the open closers. So closers are involved in that loan, and they're assigned at the beginning of it so that they understand what's going on throughout the whole loan process, and we're all focused on getting it done as quickly as we can. So we're making a really bold statement that we're going to be able to get loans underwritten from when the ITP to getting the loan underwritten is 7 hours.
Yeah.
And then we have 7 days to get our deliverables complete. And then when you have your clear to close, we're going to have docs out in 7 hours, within 7 hours of the clear to close. So our 777 promise.
Wow. So, I mean, in theory, like what could you see, XD, from a broker takes an application on the 1st of July, best case scenario closing?
Well, with the July 4th holiday, we hope that
that's August 1st.
Well, Jay, one of our account executives who's here, has a loan that was literally ready to go in 4 days. It's ready. It's just, we have a 7-day rule in our industry, so it's ready to go. And that gives that broker an advantage to say, hey, borrower, if you want to move the date up, hey, title company, if this time works better for you, like, we're going to be able to help have some flexibility and hopefully put loans in when they make sense.
And listen, in this industry, you get a 14-day close, you're celebrating.
Yeah.
14 days after close, you're just celebrating. So we have regulatory things that we can't move too fast.
Right.
But to know XD that we're getting XD closer to 2XD, to be at a 4-day, obviously regulatory things, constraints, that is phenomenal. And we attribute a lot of it to this, like Aussie, it's what we call her, and she's our artificial intelligence underwriting system, but she's also the broker's portal. She's they'll see when they get in there that there's like a to-do list, and there's like a decision tree that Aussie says, okay, here's the conditions. Did whatever somebody uploaded, as soon as they upload it, it alerts her, it wakes her up to say, okay, is this document or that was just uploaded solve one of the conditions I asked for? If the answer is yes, then she says, can I clear it myself? And if she can, she does, and it happens like that. Yeah.
If she says, no, it doesn't give me what I want, then she kicks to, can I go get it myself? And if she can't, she goes and gets it and then goes back and says, now can I clear it? And if she can, you're done. If
great.
She can't clear it, she knows what human to alert to go get it for her if she can't get it herself. So That's how it's helping us scalable.
And it's your own proprietary technology that gets put together.
Yeah, we had some geniuses over there behind the curtain.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, in your career, switch gears here for a little bit. Who are some of your mentors?
My mentors? Oh my gosh. Well, luckily I'm working for one of them right now, which is Michael Brenning. I met him when I got to be on his sales team, and in 2014, and I followed him. This is my third place with him. Another huge mentor is Stan Rhodes, who was, you guys all know Willie Newman at Home Point. So Willie and Stan were kind of the ones that had Interfirst back in the day. I know there's a lot of young people that are in this industry now, but any of the old guys like me.
I remember Moai.
Yes. Mortgages Online at Interfirst. Yeah, we had some good times. But Stan Rhodes is really one of the most amazing leaders.
Wow.
Because he reminded me a lot to not take myself so seriously, and I would get so, bent out of shape about, oh my gosh, like this is life and death. And he was always just, I remember one time going into his office and being like really intense about something, and he started out with telling me a joke, and I'm like, yeah, what? Like, what? And then finally I'm like, all right, I'm smart enough to go, this guy's telling me to chill out, take a deep breath. We can get through this. all of this is solvable. So yeah,
Interesting.
amazing guy. So
Interesting. Be that kind of casual, that relaxed, actually,
Yeah.
and be at the head of Interfirst.
yeah,
maybe
and I'll tell you, I really do work with a lot of my mentors right now. John Neinhardt that runs our operations, he's a phenomenal leader. Love watching him. Andy Stebbin, who's doing our sales, great friend of mine. We loved each other when we worked in sales together back in the day. And
all-star team.
yeah, and then Julie Isby, she is like, if you I really hope we'll get to have her talk to you at some point.
Okay.
She has she's a certified high performance coach and is just one of the classiest, smartest. Spent a lot of time in sales as well as leadership, and she calms me.
Oh,
She reminds me what's important too. So yeah, a lot of mentors.
That's fantastic.
So
Very exciting. I mean, listen, I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to meet with us, presenting actually the data and the findings, from the investment you made, in capturing,
Yeah.
Why consumers like to do business with mortgage brokers, and just we're excited to hear about your growth.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping we'll get to work with you again when we get phase 2 of the survey done, or the research project. So this first part was all public data that we just sliced and diced and got some statistical maniacs on it to make it make sense. Then the second part is an actual customized survey to 50,000 homeowners that either bought or refinanced in the last 5 years, and we're asking them very specific questions about mortgage brokers and using them. And then we're also getting their entire credit profile, not to scare them, but you know what I'm saying, like not necessarily in a marketing legal way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
I don't know.
yeah.
He'll probably tell me how they do it, but we can sort of create a persona, if you will, of the type of people that they should
their
talk
computers,
to.
right?
Yeah,
You're hacking their computers,
we push a button and we say, hey, you.
Yeah, and if you don't actually give them the credit report, you install ransomware on there, and if you get Bitcoin, you'll
All right,
release
I know you're going to scroll some kind of, this is just humor now for the.
Yes. No, but listen, I'm excited to see actually the data you guys are going to be compiling.
Thank you.
It's I mean, so far the highlights that you've shared and the insights that you've shared have been great. And I just listen. I love the mortgage broker. You love the mortgage broker, and I think we've got some great times ahead of us for the mortgage broker when we work with great partners. We've met with a handful of great partners today.
Yes. It was great. It was a great turnout. What a beautiful place this is. I had no idea.
So great to come back here and be here again.
In person.
So,
mask free.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
So thank you so much. I really appreciate the time. Yeah.
Great
Hope everybody got something out of it. So.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us for another Mortgage Leadership Outlook. I come to you normally every Wednesday, but we did a special Thursday or Friday here for the New England Mortgage Expo. Everyone, we will see you next week.